What better way for a son and father to bond over than their mutual love for the Dallas Cowboys? Hi, I'm Michael Davis with my dad, Mack. We're a star-studded son and dad duo on the star-studded Cowboys Network, powered by Fans First Sports Network and Boom Broadcasting. And this is Dad and the Boys. It's not Sunday. It's Monday Night Football, Cowboys Texans interstate rivalry. And if you're just like us who don't live in the state of Texas but wish we did, this is still a big game because the Houston Texans come into here 6-4. They're coming into Dallas, where Dallas has yet to win a home game, and the Cowboys they got a brutal schedule, one of the hardest schedules in the entire NFL, and doesn't get easier with Houston. But it helps that CJ Stroud having a little bit of a sophomore slump. A couple of Stroud stats I want to point out is Stroud last year, 63.9% completion percentage. That's down a percentage. He had 23 touchdowns, 5 picks last year. He has 12 touchdowns, 6 picks this year. And his passer rating is down from 100.8 to 89.1. The reigning offensive rookie of the year. He's not going to win rookie of the year this time. That's not how that award works unless you're the NBA and it's Ben Simmons. But it is important to note the Texans do have a sophomore slump at quarterback, but he's still producing fairly well. I posted an article on Fans First Sports Network earlier this week saying that their offensive coordinator could also be a candidate for a potential head coaching job, potentially for Dallas, if we were to not re-sign Mike McCarthy after this year. But there's a lot riding on this game, not so much in terms of playoffs, but in terms of just pride. Like, I'm sure that people in Texas don't want to lose this game.
I honestly don't know what they want to lose or what they don't want to, or what they want to win. I know Houston doesn't want to lose it. They're kind of like almost like the stepchild of Texas, in the family. Because, Dallas has been the predominant team in Texas for a long time. Stroud is having a little bit of a sophomore slump, but he's still playing well. And I did read an article where there was a suggestion this week that the offensive coordinator for Houston,
Bobby Slowick, become the Dallas Cowboy head coach. I read that in a couple places. And one suggestion was, hey, what team have we struggled against? San Fran and that Shanahan tree. Well, Slowick comes from that.
Mm-hmm. And he's got some defensive experience. One suggestion was bring him in as a head coach / offensive coordinator, and bring the guy that just got fired from the Jets in as a defensive coordinator.
Robert Saleh?
Yeah. So, we would be San Francisco a little bit central. So I don't know. But, if you can't beat them, join them, I guess.
That would solve a little bit of problems. At least be like, hey, here's what Shanahan's been doing all these years to beat you guys. Would give us a little bit of insight. I mentioned a similar strategy on my article through Fans First Sports Network. If you guys want to watch it or read it, it's Life After Mike McCarthy, and I give 6 candidates who could be a Cowboys head coach. But looking into this Texans game, I know it's been a little bleak here the last few weeks on Dad and the Boys, but what's your level of hope for this game?
Well, any given Sunday, I do know that they had said that Rush was going to continue to start, that this past week wasn't his typical Cooper Rush game. And I can see that. Based on the years past where he's competed and started for the Cowboys, it seems to be like his kryptonite. The team's kryptonite is San Fran and Shanahan tree. His kryptonite seems to be Philadelphia, because his 2 losses as a starter are against the Eagles. Not a good sign, Rush. We don't like that. We're not technically out of the playoffs.
Technically.
But that day is approaching unless we run the table. So then you have to start wondering, well, what's the draft position? Currently, we're tied for 10th with Miami Dolphins. You know,
it would be tough. Like, it's weird because it's like I don't like losing. I don't want to lose. It's pretty bad sitting through those games. I get sit next to you with them, but you also look at the top of the draft and you're just imagining Travis Hunter in a Cowboys jersey.
See, but the thing of it is in order to get Travis Hunter, I do believe, and I saw this, already the social media pundits are out there and they're doing mock drafts and all already, and Dallas picking 11th, and the one I saw was on Blogging the Boys website, and they had Travis Hunter going first overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars, which need a cornerback. So I don't know that, Dallas is going to get to first overall.
Yeah, I'm expecting Travis Hunter to be a top 3 or 4 pick at least. Depend on how that order shapes out.
And but I do hope that they're wrong on the draft, not necessarily with our pick that they predicted, but I do not want Shedeur Sanders in New York. I like the kid. I do not want to pull against him when he's in the Giants uniform. I do not want that. So the Giants need to start winning a little bit.
Yeah.
Lower their draft pick.
Hopefully not against us on Thanksgiving, but
I don't want Shedeur there. Period. I don't care.
That is true. I wouldn't like seeing a Sanders play for another NFC East team. Once is too many for that part. But I feel like a key to this game, and we'll give our 1-star matchup and we'll give our final score prediction after the commercial. But something I wanted to point out is Rico Dowdle. I mean, we've been talking. Yes, Derrick Henry would have been a much better player to put under this offense, but Rico, when he's carried the ball, he's impressed. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry this season. And over the last 2 games where we have lost to San Francisco, we have lost to Philadelphia, 2 of our biggest kryptonites, if you will. 5.3 yards a carry for Rico Dowdle. I mean, talk about, you're like 3.5 is a first down. Hey, 5.3 yards a carry is a first down in itself.
And I get that, and Rico's run hard this year, and I'm not dissing Rico Dowdle. I mean, he's contributed. I'm wondering would Rico Dowdle at 20-25 carries a game, would he still get 4+ yards carry average?
Maybe.
But, you kind of jumped the gun on that little segment, but it kind of ties back to what I was talking about on that mock draft, because they actually had us at number 11 picking the kid out of San Diego. What is it? Where's that?
Or Boise State. Ashton Jeanty.
I don't know that kid much. I haven't followed him at all.
He's good.
But has he been overused in college? That would be my hesitation there. Has he been overused in college? Because, he's putting up some numbers. I do know that.
Yeah, leading the FBS with like 1,900 rushing yards the last time I checked.
So is that 1,900 on 300 carries? What's the case? Because, you remember several years ago when we had DeMarco Murray. We ran that boy into the ground that year. He ran a lot. And then he was, then the next year he was like unable to do anything.
Yeah, and correction on that, it's over 1,700 yards. My bad. If you don't include like the receiving yards into that.
But he's at 224 carries.
So that's about 7.7 yards per carry. 23 touchdowns this year. He's obviously a Heisman candidate right now. So at 5'9", 215 pounds.
And how many games have they played?
They have played. Let me do some math here. 3, 6. 9 games. They played 9 games.
So at 220 some yard, 220 carries.
Yeah, some of those games he's hit like 30 yards.
30 carries a game average.
So So that is something you'd have to consider. Granted, college hits are not the same as NFL hits.
No, they're not. But I mean, those do add up. And I mean, and if you look at his long throughout the season, I mean, in each game he's getting over his long. The minimum he's got like 16, but 35 is the next one. 60, 50,
70s.
So he's got some juice apparently.
Home run hitter.
So I mean,
it could help.
And I also saw somebody recommend that we re-sign Rico Dowdle right now, and they said, "Well, we can get him for $5 to $6 million a year."
If we got Rico for $6 million a year, and
I'd be pissed.
If we didn't get Henry for $8 million, I would be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where people are getting this stupid idea, but and it's no offense to Rico Dowdle, but folks,
no,
spend your money elsewhere. The money 5 positions: defensive end, wide receiver, quarterback, left tackle, and cornerback. Those are your money 5 positions. Why are we trying to spend money again on running back?
If you're not going to spend that on an elite running back like Derrick Henry,
and no offense to Dowdle, but he's not in that level.
No,
and there again, I said all along, I wouldn't have signed Derrick Henry if I was going to spend that money on a running back. It would have been Barkley. Period.
Also, to keep him out of the division would have been nice.
That's the only running back on the free agent market this past year that I would have spent that kind of money on. Period.
To be fair, Henry's number 1 rushing right now, and Barkley's number 2.
Now, if Dowdle wants to come back and sign a long-term contract for $2 to $3 million a year, not a problem. Because potentially we're drafting a starter, and he'd be the backup or the second person in the running back committee. And I think that would best suit Rico, in all honesty, because everybody talks about Zeke being washed up. Zeke not doing great. Well, Zeke's doing decently. He's not having the rookie first couple years seasons for Zeke, but those carries that he's doing he's allowing Rico to actually save his legs a little bit and have those better performances where he can actually average 5.3 a carry. I think it would be kind of like Pollard. Pollard was hitting 6 point something a carry there this season, and all of a sudden we let Zeke go and we put Pollard as the man behind the quarterback. And what did happen to his carries? His average. It diminished greatly. I don't think Rico's to the point where he can be an every down back and be the bell cow for an offense. And it's no offense to him. It's just not. It's not his forte.
It's not his forte. But you know what is our forte? The 1-star matchup. And we'll give you that and our final score prediction right after this break. Welcome back to Dad and the Boys. Myself, Michael, and my dad, Mack. Talked a little bit about CJ Stroud's sophomore slump. Talked about Rico Dowdle and potentially Ashton Jeanty from Boise State coming to Dallas in the draft. But that's a little ways away. What happens this Monday night is the Houston Texans, Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you've watched all our previews, we always give a 1-star matchup and a final score prediction. Now, that 1-star matchup, if you know, and it is giving you a position versus a position, a player versus a player, a coach versus a coach. That would be the key to Dallas winning this game, and the Cowboys are currently underdogs by 7 points to Houston. Would be Dallas's first win at home, but we'll see if we expect that to happen. But Dad, what's your 1-star matchup that could help the Cowboys get their first home victory?
Well, if you watch this show at all, sometimes I don't necessarily play by his rules with a 1-star matchup. So I haven't really listened or followed any injury reports very much this week. But my 1-star matchup is DaRon Bland versus the trainer. Get your butt on the field, son. We need you. You're the key. If you come back, you and Diggs together can make Stroud have a bad day. And we need that. Because we know that our quarterback is going to struggle. I mean, that's a known fact right now. You know, our quarterback is going to struggle in this game. Whether it be Cooper Rush or Mr. Trey Lance, he is going to struggle. This is a good quality defense in Houston. So we need our defense to be on at its epitome. And therefore, we need DaRon Bland on the field. So when you go to the trainer, don't limp, run, don't walk, and just run right past him right onto the field and play.
Finally.
Make your season debut.
That would be awesome. And I know you give injury reports when you do Starstruck. Granted, it'll be an extra day out this time, but
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that Starstruck episode.
Well, I'll be continuing in my countdown this week. So I mean, you know, that's something I look forward to. And I look forward to seeing people taking go up and go down. And oh, by the way, if you're listening, Donovan Wilson, you struggled this year some in coverage. But I do know this. When you lay the wood, son, you lay the wood. Do me a favor. Lay the wood on Dalton Schultz. Take his butt down. Take him down. Tell him to run his mouth about us one more time.
Yeah, that was not appreciative of Dalton Schultz's comments. But my 1-star matchup is, you know, and Grant, we don't have a full injury report. Houston's Will Anderson is currently questionable as of right now, as of this moment. And the Texans also have former Viking Danielle Hunter. And we have Terrence Steele. We also don't know if Tyler Guyton's going to be able to go. Is it going to be Guyton? Is it going to be Austin Richards? I need my tackles, whoever it is, Richards/Guyton or Terrence Steele. I need you guys to keep whoever is at quarterback for the duration of this game safe. I need you guys to help open up lanes for Rico Dowdle to run through, and we need an offense going. We can't make this offense look like the Carolina Panthers have the last 2 years. And I'm starting to lose confidence. I feel like every week I challenge Terrence Steele and I challenge this offensive line, and every week it feels like they just let me down.
You know, looking at their group there for defensive ends, son, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at their third string, Derek Barnett was a first-round draft pick for Philly a few years back. Jerry Hughes, I think he played in Buffalo a little while. And you got
Danico
Autry, and you got Danielle Hunter, and you got Will Anderson Jr. And if Will Anderson Jr. is lined up against
whoever,
Steele, or what's the other
Richards or Guyton,
I would be a little bit better with Richards. And if we got Cooper Rush back there, now if we've got Trey Lance is going to be running for his life.
Could help us.
You know, I mean, Trey's going to run because he's going to be under the pressure. And I do believe that. And Tim Settle Jr., I mean, he's a great defensive tackle. Very a good, steady vet. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a scary defensive line. And then you got the linebackers. Lord.
Yeah.
Stanley Jr., Devin White.
Yeah.
Al Shire or whatever. I mean, They got a scary defense, folks.
You got Derek Stingley in the secondary. You got Kamari Lassiter in the secondary. Thankfully, we won't play Jeff Okudah, former first-round pick in his own right. But, yeah, how good this Houston defensive line is they felt good trading one of their better defensive tackles way at the deadline because they're like, we have way too many pieces. We just need to recoup draft picks.
And, the head coach is from that San Francisco line there. I mean,
D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans is a heck of a coach. I mean,
it'll be tough. Which brings me to our final score prediction, Dad. I always let you go first, and I'll let you go first for this time. Cowboys Texans. The Cowboys are 7-point underdogs. They have not won a game at home yet, and it is going to be a tough matchup against Houston. How do you see this one going?
Well, Mike McCarthy, I'm going to do you a favor, bro. I'm going to get a clone machine, and I'm going to clone Micah Parsons for you. He's going to be starting all 22 positions. And that's how we're going to win, by 1 point. No, this is going to be a tough game. But I never pick against my Cowboys, and they're going to win by 1.
I'm picking for the Tank for Trav sweepstakes. We're starting a political campaign now that Election Day is over. And I have a strong feeling that you've said it before, Dad. You've said it before that Dallas has been the get-right game for a lot of teams.
No, I said we don't want to be the get-right game. Unfortunately, we've been that.
We have been that. I think this is where CJ Stroud gets his groove going. They still have Joe Mixon, one of the better running backs. I'm going to take Houston by about 13. Which, to be fair...
Whoa, you can't do that.
To be fair...
You cannot pick them by 13. I refuse to let you pick them by 13. 13 is your Uncle David's favorite number. You're not going to disrespect him that way.
16. I take Houston by 16. I'm not going lower. You guys might want to bet on Vegas if you guys are feeling lucky with this. To be fair, that is generous because we've been blown out at home by 20, 25 points each game, and it's been tough. But I think 16 points is generous, and maybe it ends up with a great draft pick. But that is my one score, my final score prediction, our one-star matchups as well. This is closing out on Dad and the Boys. Remember, Starstruck Saturday on Boom Broadcasting on Fans First Sports Network.
Are we doing it Saturday or Sunday?
Probably do Saturday. Okay. We'll get a break on Sunday. Let me recoup from weekend festivities and everything. So we'll get that in. And then Dad and the Boys, we'll monitor next week. Maybe we'll do an episode Wednesday or Thursday after the game because depending on how this game goes, we might need a full 24 hours to recover.
And also, folks, get your your Christmas shopping done on through Fanatics.
Yep, we can drop that link here in the description below, and you guys go shop for your favorite family members who are Cowboy fans, your favorite friends who are Cowboy fans, and why would you buy any other gear, right?
I don't.
That's not how we roll in this household, no matter the record. But guys, appreciate you guys. Out of pocket for Boom Broadcasting will be on later this evening, 5:30 to 6:30, covering all these NFL picks and games for the weekend. But guys, appreciate y'all. This has been Michael and my dad, Mac, for Dad and the Boys on Fans First Sports Network on Boom Broadcasting. And remember, this isn't our first rodeo. We'll catch you here next time.